Hi, dear guys and girls, I'm Petra, and I received a comment from a viewer. I don't know if I'm allowed to say your name, so I won't. But the comment was, can you make a video on staying for the sake of the children? Now, this is a very difficult topic, not so much to speak on, but more when you are going through it or you have been through it. You get to the realization that you are actually involved with a narcissistic partner or spouse, and you don't know what to do. You are in dubio of leaving or staying. Should you stay or should you go? And I don't think that this is valid in a narcissistic relationship. When you say, am I staying or should I stay for the sake of the kids? When you stay, that is at the expense of the children. In a healthy, normal relationship, when you are going through marital challenges, but both parties are willing to work through the problems and to re-establish the relationship to get it back to a healthy place again, then that is a totally different situation, because both parties are willing, both parties still have love for each other. There is the willingness and there's also the capability of working through whatever you're going through. But when you are speaking of a narcissistic relationship in which children are involved, that is a whole different ballgame. So when the children are involved, of course, there is a lot that goes on in a narcissistic relationship. There is the physical abuse, the verbal abuse, the emotional abuse. Children, up until the age of about 7 or 8, their little children's brains are like sponges. They absorb everything that they are brought into contact with, that they are subjected to. So when a little child sees the devastation going on in a home, where there is physical and mental abuse, where mother is maybe being beaten or father is being beaten, and they are, mother makes excuses for the abuse. Mother sort of acts, or father acts, as if nothing is really wrong. Children see this, they absorb this, and to them it becomes their normal. So I understand, when you have come to the point of the realization of what you are dealing with, of who you are dealing with, what is the second step? You cannot say, I am staying for the sake of the children. Maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, it was a noble thing to do, to stay in a toxic relationship, to put up this facade for the outside world, to make as though nothing was wrong in the family unit, to make as though everything was just dandy. That may have been noble then, but back then we didn't have such a knowledge of the impact that narcissistic abuse has on yourself, but also on your children. So it is now 2017. We are all responsible adults, and it is our responsibility as role models for these little children to show them what respect is, to show them what real love is, to show them what the acceptance of abuse or the non-acceptance of abuse, what that looks like. So when you are in these relationships, of course, it can go two ways. You have a narcissistic parent and you have the healthy parent, maybe even the codependent. What you are showing your children by remaining in these destructive, in these toxic marriages and relationships, is that it is okay if the one partner is being abused. You are telling the children it is okay to stay in an abusive relationship. It is okay to make excuses for the abuse. And another way can go is, of course, when you are being raised by one narcissistic parent, we all have narcissistic traits in us. But the longer you spend with a narcissistic parent, the more apt you are into developing these narcissistic traits as well, that you become the narcissist. And the flip side to that is that you will also be more apt to becoming a codependent when you see that excuses are being made, that the abuse is being accepted by the other parent. So, there is nothing good to say about keeping yourself and especially your children in these destructive relationships. Now, I understand that is easy for me to say. I was never put in this position. But the thing is, there are a lot of consequences involved, and I realize that this is probably the reason why you are in dubio of going or staying, because there are consequences. There are financial consequences. The consequence can also be, of course, you are leaving the luxury of your home. You are leaving cars behind. You are leaving furniture behind, whatever the case may be. But of course, these are material things. Do not put material things above the well-being of your children, because the children are the next generation. The children need to be nurtured, need to know that they are enough, need to know that they are protected, they need to know that they are loved. And by staying in a toxic relationship, you are teaching them everything except that. So I cannot tell you, yes, you must get out of the relationship. All I can offer you is get real with yourself. Go on the inside, search your heart for what it is that is keeping you in this place. Why have you not taken the steps to leave? There can be real issues here. It could be that you yourself are a codependent. There could be fear involved. You might fear for your life and the lives of your children. And if that is the case, if you want to leave but you fear for your life, then of course it is very important that you set up an action plan of action. If that means securing certain finances secretively, then do that. If you have to secure your finances, you have to secure bits of clothing, certain belongings, you have to sort out your finances, you have to sort out whatever is involved in breaking away from a relationship or a marriage. If that means that you have to set those things up first and get to a point where you are protected, you are physically protected before you can leave, then those are the steps you need to take. But children did not ask to be born into this. They are born into it. And when we see danger as the healthy parent, then it is up to us. It is our responsibility to take care of those children, to secure the children, so that you are breaking the cycle of narcissistic abuse. The pathology, the family pathology that I spoke of in other videos, when you have been raised by two narcissistic parents or one narcissistic parent, maybe their parents were raised by the same sort of, the same narcissistic energy, there is a family pathology that is then created. And it is up to you at this point in time, you that is watching this video right now, it is up to you to break that pattern, to break that pathology. And the way to do that is to secure your children. Because when that circle has been broken, then you are given the chance to recreate or to create a whole new pathology, not only for yourself, but also for your children. Take care of children. When you allow your emotions and your feelings freedom, when you validate them, that is what will get rid of the emptiness in your life, the emptiness you are feeling. And by doing that, by validating your emotions and your feelings and your thoughts and what you know to be true, then you are letting go of the emptiness and you are making space for a new way of living, for a new way of thinking, for a healthy environment in which your children may grow up. So I hope that answered your question. The viewer who posed the question, please share your story down here below in the comment section. Please let us know how you went about it, breaking away from the narcissistic spouse. You know, all the consequences involved. Please share with us, because when you share your story, you are so definitely helping someone else with this or through this. And if you feel that anyone needs to see this video right now, then please feel free to share it. Continue to subscribe and just share your knowledge, share your story. Thank you again for watching today, and more love and light to you, and just wishing you all the strength and courage, because it does take a lot of courage. And even if you don't feel the courage, as soon as you've taken that first step of breaking free, take that leap of faith, because the stories that you may have in your head about the consequences, it may not be that bad. You know, if you just take that leap of faith, you will see that everything at some point will just fall into place, and you will thank yourself forever for taking that step. Thanks again for watching, and see you all next time. Bye now.